I'm really excited to welcome Walter, Allison, and Todd, all of whom our paths have crossed in one way or another. Walt, I'm going to look at you. So from your perspective, what leadership qualities do you think are going to really prevail, even thrive in what's next?
As a leader, right, analysis paralysis is real, right? You can freeze up, but you can avoid it, I think, by doing a couple things. And the first is really just prioritizing what matters to you most. The other thing, right, as leaders, you have to make smart trade-offs, right, between survival today and success tomorrow. And I really found that the best leaders understand that mistakes will be made, take responsibility for their own, and don't punish people for actually making them. And part of that is being honest. And that's really that trait I mentioned. And I think strong leaders, smart leaders, right, they seek input from a number of different sources. They're not afraid to say that they don't know something. They're not afraid to bring out in outside experts. And that's what allows good leaders to take calculated risks. And it's in times like this where we're reminded, right, honesty matters, leadership matters, and honest leadership matter. And I think that's really what's going to help us think our way to next.
How would you suggest that people process it when they're faced with somebody that's in a leadership position that isn't exhibiting the qualities that you just described?
I think part of it is leading by example. And I think that's a big piece to leadership.
I want to throw a question at Allison, our design thinking guru. Given what you're seeing here and what you hope to see going forward, what are the new written or unwritten rules you aspire to see on the other side of next?
Thinking about what's next, as a design thinker, being nimble and flexible and embracing ambiguity is all part of the whole framework. So there's a lot of opportunity to embrace what we're going through and to try new things. And so my hope toward next is that people are more open and maybe break out of the tracks that we all find ourselves in. Everything is up in the air. So what better time than to try some new things? So I would love to see leaders be more open to experimentation and allow their employees to try things without the fear of failure, because really it's about learning. In design thinking, it's a bias toward action. So, and that has to come from the top.
Todd, you and I have been talking a lot about the difference between a leader being able to, and an organization being able to build culture when you're in the shared space, physical space, co-located. Something as simple as grabbing a cup of coffee or water cooler talk, being able to give that thumbs up or that smile to a colleague spontaneously, instantaneously, whereas you don't have that luxury now. So let's talk about, for you, what the thoughtful culture building you're doing here and now with Envision. And given the loss of that incidental interaction among your colleagues, among your team, what steps are you deliberately taking to build and fortify your company culture?
This is a phenomenal tool that we've got at our disposal, and we're using it at unprecedented levels right now. But, what you and I were talking about, Jen, is that we have lost something as well, and we have to be very conscious of that. Everything we do is face-to-face. It's all video. And so when we do things like build culture online, one of the things we have to recognize is that those opportunities for incidental interaction are few and far between. If I had to map a company's Maslow needs, what would they look like? At the lowest level, market demand and an ability to deliver. And as you move up the stack, we need tool sets that capable people can use to do their jobs. But does that meet the love and belonging need? For that, we really need culture. We need trust. And that piece right there is the piece that I think is most at risk in this moment. And, recognition. The ability for the company to be recognized for the good works it's doing, and the ability for the company to recognize its employees for the good works that they're doing, are how we get to that esteem level. And then, of course, self-actualization, achieving somebody's full potential in a business context might mean for a company that it is a profitable company and doing something valuable. We need to be looking at all layers of Maslow and saying, okay, whatever's next, how do I map what I'm going to redesign my business and my culture and my community to be, to ensure that I am aligning it with the various levels of Maslow that my people need.
A lot of my clients claim to be experiencing Zoom fatigue. I just wonder how some of you are navigating that and what kind of feedback you are getting.
Resist the urge to invite everybody to your meeting just because you can. Smaller meetings are better when we talk about video interaction. Don't underestimate the power of pre-recorded messaging.
The goal is not to look perfect. The goal is to see each other and to see the humans on the other side of the screen. And video is just really effective in that way.